When it comes to YouTube growth and optimization tools, there's really only two tools. There's TubeBuddy and there's VidIQ. Now, chances are you've heard of those. Maybe you've even used one or both of those. But the question remains, do you really need them to grow on YouTube? Now, a friend of mine, who's also another YouTube creator, Eddie Field with Field Guide to DIY, he and I talk about this all the time, about TubeBuddy and VidIQ. So I said, hey, why don't we record a video and we share our experiences, good, bad, and just see what you think about, do you really need TubeBuddy or VidIQ to grow on YouTube? And by the way, this video is sponsored by Riverside. More about them a little bit later. Let's start with VidIQ. What do you like about VidIQ and what do you not like about VidIQ?
VidIQ, you can drill down and they'll actually be recommended. So if I'm looking for, I want to do my next video on the Ryobi cordless drill. Okay. So then I start typing Ryobi cordless drill. Let's look for it. And it'll give me another 5 links that I can click on that are recommended. Ryobi 18-volt cordless drill, Ryobi troubleshooting cordless drill. Many times it'll tell you Ryobi cordless drill, Ryobi cordless drill.
Yeah, it's like, so yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking about. But, and then we can contrast that with TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy has this search volume and competition. You can get a bar graph of how successful that particular keyword or keyword phrase will be. And there's this whole weighted against your search volume and unweighted against, as if you take yourself and your browser out of the mix. I think it's sort of gimmicky, but that's just me. But they really, folks who talk about that weight, the scale there, really push that. Oh, and you have a speedometer here.
Yeah.
So if you get like really in the red zone, make this video because there's low competition and it's really searched. That's the balance that you're looking for, and that's what they're recommending.
I think they've got some cool features. I don't know that they're necessarily growth features, and not for me. And I'll talk about that in a second. VidIQ, one of the things, and I think I said this in a video I did quite a while back. One of the things that I think I don't like about TubeBuddy is that, VidIQ, it can be extremely overwhelming when you get there. I've been doing YouTube a while. Eddie's been doing YouTube a while. I've been creating content for most of my life. So you can get overwhelmed with data and numbers and stuff like that. But when you get to VidIQ, it's just like, holy crap, where do I even start? Oh, I got this, and I got this, and I got this, and I got this. I think all of these are good with kind of a little, it's not a bait and switch, but they pull you in with like the daily ideas, which I think is kind of okay on VidIQ. I'll tell you what I think is interesting about VidIQ. So when I was paying for it, so I think on the free version of VidIQ, you get 3 daily ideas, and then if you pay, you get 100, right? And you can go through and you can rank them. And it's kind of cool, but I would get these like, they thought for my channel, it would be good to talk about like Minecraft. And I'm like, what? I've already done a video on Minecraft.
Have you seen my channel?
A long time ago. Oh, but then it would come up with some like editing graphic software that's a PC. I'm Mac. VidIQ, you should know this if you've scanned my channel, and something I've never heard of, but it was like, we really think this would work. In what universe? So there's things like that. It was always these false positives. What I think is interesting, and we've joked about this, the AI title thing. What I would find most of the time with VidIQ, of the 5 titles I think it would recommend, one inevitably would be the title I'd already come up with.
Right.
The other thing, though, was like ultimate. The word ultimate will almost always be in one of your titles. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In fact, we were just talking about that the other day. You were saying, and I want to talk about that in just a second. So that's the thing about VidIQ. There's some things in there that I think are cool. The AI thing is kind of interesting. There's parts of it that are cool and that are not. And then TubeBuddy. What's interesting, the things I really like about TubeBuddy, I like the A/B testing on the thumbnails, and I've used that quite a bit. And several times I've been,
Caveat.
What do you mean?
There are 3 levels of TubeBuddy.
That is true.
There's the free version, the pro version, and the premium version. You only get A/B testing with the premium version.
Yeah, which I'm on. Yeah.
I don't pay for that.
Yeah. And I will say there's been several times that the thumbnail that tested higher was not the one I would have thought, not the one I would have gone with.
Right.
And this is not them guessing. This is them testing, and you get all the data about the clicks and the watch time and how the two compare, and then you have the option of using it or not. Now the irony is with this is YouTube keeps telling us that we're all getting ABC thumbnail testing
beginning in January of 2024.
Yes, yeah, and we're recording this in May
of
the same year. And it's been coming for quite some time. The last I heard is that they were still testing it and they're going to roll it out and stuff like that. You know, I think it's a good tool to have. So to me, that's one of the things that I think TubeBuddy has that's pretty strong that won't have anymore. I also like a couple of things that I've used quite a bit. The find and replace feature to me has been a huge time saver. If I change a link on something, I can just use that as well. And I may just, like, if I've changed who's hosting my newsletter, I can just have it find the platform of the software I'm using and change it with the new software, and it keeps everything else. That's huge.
Remind everybody where it searches for and replaces.
What do you mean?
In your title and your description.
Oh, yeah, so you can actually tell it. So if I know, like, let's say I'm switching from, well, I did this recently. I'm switching. I dumped Canva and went with Adobe Express for my graphics. So if I had anything in my description that said, what I use for graphics, and I had Canva, then I can tell it to go in and search in all those places and replace Canva affiliate link with my Adobe Express affiliate link, and it'll just search everything. Typically, if I know I didn't use it in my title, I just unclick that. It's just less it's got to filter through. Right. But it's never missed one. I will have to say it's never missed one, and it's really nice. The other thing I've used a lot is it gives you, again, I think this is on one of the paid plans, I'm not sure. You can do multiple custom description defaults. YouTube gives you one. So you can go into your settings, and I think it's settings, and you can create a custom default description. And so anytime you upload a video, all of that will already be there. You can go in and change it all day long.
Yes.
A ton of time. TubeBuddy allows you to do multiple. So I could do one for, like, the only thing that changes is if I want to mention the gear at my desk, or I do one about, certain videos I want to point you to or something like that. And then you can just go in and say, use that one, and it just replaces the description. I think that's really cool.
That's for the premium. I don't have that.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, you'll get the point that Eddie is very bitter that I have the premium. But no, to his credit, I will say I did a video once and I talked about one of the features, and in the most godly way, you called me out and said, bro, you need to always tell us. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that because I was so used to just having it. So it was good.
You want me to comment on your videos, right? You just maybe not all caps next time.
Yeah. It's like shouting through the keyboard.
I could see how that would be helpful, because in my genre, I could actually save a template for projects. I could save a template for products, and I could save a product for comparisons.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, that would be helpful. Do a lot of things with Ryobi on your channel.
Yes.
So you could actually have a description.
Have Ryobi template.
Yes. And it is a huge time saver. Now, could you copy and paste? Sure. It's one less step. Beyond that, I have found, TubeBuddy now has AI titles. I have found, even if, and I've tested them both where, I don't take the title I've come up with and have it suggest. I actually will throw some keywords in or something like that. And it's just, none of the titles I feel like are ever really that good. Hey, I wanted to break in here and tell you a little about Riverside. Riverside is one of the easiest platforms I've ever used to record, even edit, and publish a video. In fact, I used Riverside to do this video you're watching, the interview with Eddie and me, and it was very simple. Send him the link. He popped in. We recorded everything, did some editing in the background. So if you want to check out Riverside for yourself, hit the link down in the description, use the code Kevin Kolbe, and save 15% off your subscription. Now back to the video.
You were talking about the VidIQ 3 suggestions a day.
Yeah. The daily ideas. Yeah.
Yes, the daily ideas. One was recommended to me last night that I make a video on how to crack a safe.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. That might be good for the guys that you'll be bunking with after you do that.
Exactly.
VidIQ has launched coaching. And this is something Eddie and I talked quite a bit about when they launched that. And just give you this much of a backstory. VidIQ bought, there's a guy named Tim Schmoyer. He's one of these OG creators. He's a super nice guy. He's a Christian dude, family man. And I mean, he knows YouTube. And he had a brand called Video Creators. And he actually sold that to VidIQ. And so part of that was just so they could roll in coaching. And so I think he became their, CEO of coaching or something.
And they took his coaching plan that he had developed.
Yep.
And they've rolled that into this independent coaching.
So it's basically like $99 a month or something like that. And you're assigned a coach. Full disclosure, when they first rolled that out, there was like an introductory price. And Eddie and I talked about it back and forth. They don't tell you who your coach is going to be.
Right.
You're kind of assigned a coach. And I want to make sure this comes across as loving and clear. I know a lot, but there's a lot I don't know. And there's a lot of people that know a lot more than me. But I have hired coaches before, and I've been mentored by some really, really good creators.
Who going into that engagement.
Yeah. I mean, 3 come to mind, 4 come to mind, and I know these people. What I resist, though, is being assigned somebody who I don't know anything about them and what makes them a coach, what makes them know anything, and am I going to just kind of get regurgitated information? I mean, it was like I used to work in television, and we'd pay a buttload of money for consultants who would just pretty much tell you the same information that they told the last station. They would just kind of adapt it. I'm not implying they do that. I'm just saying, to me, it's a lot of money to pay. And then you start looking at the access, and it wasn't really a lot of access. And every time I have either been into a mastermind group or something like that, there was a lot of access with the person I wanted to have access to. You said to me, and I think this is fair, that VidIQ's response would be, and probably TubeBuddy's as well, is that, a lot of the things you can find, you can, but, they make it easy to do kind of a one-stop shop. It's kind of like the Walmart or the Target of, I can go and buy socks, milk, and a lawnmower in one trip, because who doesn't do that? A lot of what you're getting is not necessarily proprietary to you. I mean, to VidIQ's full disclosure, when they launched the AI stuff, it said in there that it was using ChatGPT 3 or 4. Yeah. Well, you can use ChatGPT 3, and I assume as they keep doing higher numbers, because it's kind of like Apple, the iPhone 22 coming out one year, that you can use ChatGPT 3. You can train it. You can actually give it something you've done. And I've done this before and taken transcripts from my videos and said, hey, can you look at this? And can you, give me 5 ideas for whatever? Google, Gemini.
Yes.
Same thing. You can do that. There's Google Trends. If you've never used it, you can go in and search what's trending, and you can even zero that down to YouTube. Even in the back end of TubeBuddy, when you get there, it gives you the, you can, let's say you type in something about Final Cut Pro, since we both edit on Final Cut Pro. TubeBuddy will tell you also searches on Google, and it'll tell you how the searches have gone over time, the trending. Well, all that's doing is pulling from Google and Google Trends. You can do that as well. You may decide it's worth the money to go one place. You said to me that there was a title, and I can't remember the title, that VidIQ had recommended. You went with that title, and that video was doing really well. Do you remember what the title was or what the video was about?
Yes. The ultimate guide for changing the Ryobi circular saw blade.
I'm sorry, what word was in there?
The ultimate guide for changing the Ryobi circular saw blade. It's doing well.
Do you believe, though, that you could have come up with a title as well that would have worked?
Yes. And in fact, I didn't. I went with that title because I went and asked it to come up with a title for me because it started out flat.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And then I said, okay, so this is underperforming. What else have you got for me? The ultimate guide. And I went with that.
So why not?
And guess what?
Yeah.
It picked up.
My comment back to Eddie on that title is, while titles are important and thumbnails are important, it's your packaging. I would argue that maybe it got a few more people interested, but it was Eddie's content for that specific video, for that specific topic that has continued to grow over time. So I think where I was kind of picking back at you, I think you were giving VidIQ, as I understood, too much credit because of the title and it growing. And I was saying, I think it kind of diminishes your role as picking the topic and going with it and letting it find the audience. So do you believe VidIQ or TubeBuddy are must-have tools for video creators?
I don't think so. I think you can get the same information in other sources for less the price.
But will you continue to use certain parts of both of them, at least on the free?
Yes, I will. There are some benefits of both. A lot of what they sell, you can find elsewhere for free.
Hopefully, I've never said on this channel that you have to have one or the other to grow your channel. If I did, I'd like to set the record straight now. I don't think you do. But I do believe that there are things in VidIQ and things in TubeBuddy that are good. Are they worth paying for? You have to make that decision. I think the people that work there on both of them are good people. I actually like Rob Wilson. I don't know him at VidIQ. I think he's a hoot. You know, and I've known people that work at TubeBuddy. So it's not about that. It's just about, are the tools really going to grow your channel? Ultimately, I think it comes down to you. Now, if you've used VidIQ or TubeBuddy, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to decide for yourself, I've put links to both of those down there. They both have free trials. Check them out. You may decide that, hey, I completely disagree, and I like this tool because they do have some good features. I'm Kevin Kolbe. Check out the videos coming up next. And as always, thank you so much for watching.